down on their mission to find missing children, with Operation Home for the Holidays rescuing 122 kids in what is being called the largest child recovery operation in U.S. history. Joining me now with the details, Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer. AG, this is a beautiful story, the fact that these 122 souls have been rescued, but it is disgusting what people do to children. What can you tell us about this operation?
Sure. Well, here in Florida, protecting our kids, keeping them safe, that is mission number one. So today's announcement is great. It's been an honor to support our state law enforcement and really the leadership of the U.S. Marshals under Marshal William Berger. They've done a great job rescuing these kids. They range in ages from 17 all the way down to 2 years old, and many of them have been through the unthinkable. They've been exploited, they've been endangered, and in the worst of cases, they've been physically, sexually abused. Here in Florida, our prosecutors, if you hurt our kids, we will go after you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the children rescued in Florida. 122 missing children that were missing have now been found. And we're going to touch base on the combat for illegal aliens and the ICE progress in South Carolina. I believe it's 131 they have arrested so far today. And we're going to take a look in on our favorite mayor, Mayor Brandon Johnson, who's being chastised and possibly crucified by the city council and or the residents of Chicago. Thanks for joining me right here on America First News and Commentary. I'm John, your host. Like and subscribe button, and leave your comments down in the box. And with that being said, let's get into it.
To the absolute fullest. We will lock you up for as long as possible, and where eligible, we will seek the death penalty.
How did you hunt down these child predators?
It takes a coordinated effort working across dozens of agencies, from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to juvenile justice, children and families, our local police departments. We work together, many undercover, working across the state using technology to find these kids that were previously reported missing. The largest U.S. child rescue operation in history. We'll stay at it. We're going to get these kids the care and therapy and treatment they need to get them back on the road to recovery.
I know in previous operations, many of the perpetrators were here illegally. Was that the case in this latest operation?
Details are still coming out. I'm not aware of that at this point, but I will say every time we do child predator stings, it seems like around 20% or so are people that are in the country illegally. It shows how much crime and trafficking and drug abuse has really moved over the southern border. I'm glad the southern border is finally closed. But where you traffic kids in Florida, you will be held accountable to the fullest.
Where do these children go now? Are they reunited with families? Do they go into the system? What happens next?
That's the question, right? I mean, these kids, many of them are runaways. A lot of them have been exploited, some coming out of the foster care program. Now's the real question for state leaders. We've got to give them the love, the treatment, the care they need. We've got to find them loving homes that are going to support them and not continue to endanger them. So you better believe our state leaders are going to be working on that as we rescue these kids. That's not the end. That's truly just the beginning. They need our prayers. They need our love. They need to be set up for success.
How widespread is child trafficking, not just in Florida, but throughout our country?
I think it's a lot more prevalent than people realize. Where there's money, where there's drug cartels and networking, you're going to have trafficking. You've got a lot of runaways out there. You've got a lot of these missing, immigrant children that have been abused repeatedly for years. So it's prevalent. It's out there. In Florida, our number one priority is to keep our kids safe. We're going to combat it every day. And thanks be to God, we have federal and state partners that are side by side with us in this effort.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. In fact, I've got some clips I'm going to show us here in a little bit, and we're going to take a look at the thousands of children that were smuggled and brought across the border thanks to Joe Biden and his wonderful catastrophe of a presidential campaign that he ran here in America for 4 years. And these children are everywhere. I believe there were was it 300,000 that were lost? I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly what it was. 300,000 that were caught or claimed and acknowledged at the border that they were letting come in, helping. They were helping to come into the country, and they didn't care who they were. People weren't vetted. They didn't even have their names. They were giving them a social security. They give them a social security number, give them a food stamp card, give them a Visa card, a cell phone, and have a nice day. And that's exactly what was going on. And those children they've never recovered. They've never come back out of the mix. And it's heartbreaking. It's just, it doesn't matter if you're on the left or right. It either matters whether or not you have a soul or not. But the fact that this is still going on in this country is just appalling. And thank God Donald Trump is willing to put everything at risk, everything at stake to help find these children and bring the assailants to justice. It's absolutely appalling what's going on. And with that being said, this is not a immigration thing. And I know he said that every time they get a number of kids, it seems to be 20% of the criminals are illegal aliens or aliens. I don't know how far involved that is, but it's not always. It's not always. In fact, the DOJ in Florida right now is trying to bring back the death sentence for people who have heinous crimes against children. And there's one further along in this clip that they show. To be honest with you, I don't want to watch it again. It broke my heart to watch it the first time, and there's no need to watch it again. I'm sharing it with you, telling you just what it is. It's just some of the most horrific crimes, and the people who could possibly commit such crimes against a child, they deserve the death sentence. They deserve the death sentence, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, let's see where we're going from here. Brandon Johnson.
Massive projected budget shortfall. Today, Johnson conceded he is considering a corporate head tax as a way to raise unspecified revenue, an avenue he has not pursued in his first 2 years in office.
And so now we're in a position where people are very clear about the deficit that we projected 2 years ago.
No, it's not a deficit that he projected 2 years ago, but he sounds real good the way he does it, the way he presents it. What he projected 2 years ago is, I know we're committing deficits, but we're not going to raise your taxes. We're not going to raise your taxes, especially since we spent $165 million on illegal immigrants. We're not going to raise your taxes because that's what people saw coming. They saw it coming.
And I just hope that City Council recognizes the unique moment that we're in.
Yeah, the unique moment that your neck is hanging out there, that your ass is on the line.
As a city, to do something that has not been done before.
The mayor is also looking into a possible corporate income tax and taxing social media and digital advertising.
And in order to live up to the expectation that the people...
Did he just say taxing digital advertising? What does that mean? How do you tax digital advertising?
The world has, of being that premier city. Our corporate partners will have to do more.
The mayor's ideas are landing like a thud with business leaders.
Is the best long-term strategy to address budget deficits is growth. We need pro-growth strategies. These two taxes are direct deterrents on companies locating here, staying here, creating jobs here.
Jack.
Yeah, it's exactly what it does. This is exactly how you get corporations, companies to not come to your city. It's exactly how you get them to not invest in the workforce, the labor force of Chicago, by escalating their taxes, especially when we knew it wasn't coming, because he made a solemn oath. I'm not going to dig out that clip. Last year, He put his hand on it. He said, I promise we will not be raising taxes, because people were upset because they were spending money on these illegal aliens.
Lavin says the mayor has to walk away from the idea that raising revenue is
Yeah.
the answer to the budget problems.
There must be efficiencies and shared sacrifice in there before we ask the taxpayers of Chicago and businesses in Chicago to pay more revenue.
The mayor's revenue ideas also include asking entities which don't pay property taxes, like universities and hospitals, to make voluntary payments in lieu of taxes, otherwise known as pilot payments, to help the city's fund.
Mayor Brandon Johnson wants to
Wait a minute. He's going to ask hospitals and museums to pay a voluntary tax to do their fair share. A museum has, 8 people working in it? And half of those are janitorial. Wow, really?
state a tax on corporations to help balance his budget, but not everybody's on board.
No.
Today, Governor J.B. Pritzker announced he does not support what's called a head tax.
It's been discussed here for years.
No, not Pritzker.
Child care workers, though, not only support it, they want to
Not
double
Pritzker.
what the mayor is proposing. So what's the path forward here? Political reporter Marianne Ahern is here after hearing from all the sides today. Marianne?
Alex and Marion, the governor usually stays out of the mayor's budget, but not today.
Not today.
Proposal to reinstate the head tax appeared to be on life support the day the mayor first proposed it. The governor weighing in his disapproval, it certainly will not help.
Oh, yeah.
We're here to talk about the budget, how the city is wasteful, and how we should make sure the people are the priority.
As a handful of Chicago aldermen, along with leaders from various unions and child care advocates, demand the city council not only reinstate, but expand the head tax, Governor J.B. Pritzker is not on board.
I am absolutely foursquare opposed to a head tax for the city of Chicago.
Mayor Johnson's 2026 budget includes a corporate head tax, previously abolished by Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Then it was $4 per employee per month. Now Johnson is asking for $21 a head per month for businesses with 100 or more employees. The child care
Are you
advocates say
kidding me?
$40 an employee.
$21 a head. And that means exactly what it sounds like. For every person that's employed by a corporation, I think he said that has 100 or more employees, such as like Johnson & Johnson's there. There's a GM plant, Ford Motor Company's there. There's lots of automotive industry is there. All tier 1, tier 2 suppliers are there, and they all employ 100 people. You know, some up is maybe up in 250, 300 that have 3 shifts running.
Would expand child care access and give the workers a $1 an hour raise.
We're the people who make it possible for other Chicagoans to go to work. The city's economy depends on us.
The $7 million in the budget now for child care is far less than what these advocates want.
$7 million isn't enough.
Ain't good enough.
It's not enough for our families. It's not enough for our child care workers. And we know that we can't afford to wait another day.
Nope.
However, taxing corporations as much as $40 an employee is going to be a tough sell.
I think the head tax is definitely a job killer. And it sends a wrong message to business that Chicago is not open for business.
As we continue to see more and more people, more and more companies talking about leaving Chicago and Illinois, this is not the message to send.
No.
The budget hearings are just beginning, and so is the debate. Look for others to speak out who depend on city finances besides the child care workers that we heard from today.
No, and you know, the crazy thing is Brandon Johnson knew this was coming. He knew this was coming. He spent so much money, $6 million a month, I think it was, on illegal immigrants. I hate to keep pulling that card. That is really, it's turned into a core problem. That is the root problem to so many different problems in America right now, and definitely financial ones everywhere. Not to mention housing problems everywhere. And you know what? He's lucky that with all the work that ICE has done in the community, that the crime rate has gone down quite a bit. So he's not having to make so many excuses for why he's short-handed on his police force. That's definitely that's coming up to bite him in the butt here anytime. Here we go. Here's my favorite. Let's see what we got here.
You also took an oath. All of y'all took an oath.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this one here.
Y'all are straight violating the U.S. Constitution, but y'all sit and talk about how Trump is so unconstitutional and how he's going to overturn the government and he's going to do all this. But I've been coming here for 2 years. This is the Democratic Party. This ain't Trump. This ain't Matt Gaetz. We
Matt
go from
Gaetz.
the federal level to the state level, to Governor Pritzker, to Kwame Raoul that
Matt Gaetz. She pulling the Matt Gaetz ticket out on him.
we cannot find, who's the Attorney General, to you guys fighting for some illegal aliens who haven't put a dime in this country when my mother has a building that the city of Chicago Buildings Department demolished because this disgrace alderman over there, 17th Ward David Moore, didn't do his duty as an alderman. This falls on you. It falls on you. You're the mayor this time.
Yeah,
what was the purpose of you raising your right hand?
I got nothing to say.
What was the purpose of that? That's crazy. You are in violation of the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, the law of the land, the supreme law of the land. That's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is Jessica Jackson.
You sure you mean all that? You sure you mean all that? Uh-oh. Hold on.
Now, before you get offended and try to stop me from saying what I'm going to say, you're a biblical person, so you say.
So you say.
Just like I am. The Bible speaks of stupidity. The Bible says,
oh, what? Is this me? Oh, what happened? Check. What I do?
Million isn't enough.
Good night.
Florida officials doubling down on their mission to
Oh, wait a minute.
Or revenue.
The mayor's revenue ideas also include asking entities which don't pay property taxes, like universities.
Oh, man.
On a serious note, today the illegal migrant truck driver accused of killing 3 people after making an illegal U-turn will face a Florida judge. He has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of vehicular homicide and was brought to Florida from sanctuary state of California, where when he was given a commercial driver's license despite failing key English tests. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer joins us now. Mr. Attorney General, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks, Lawrence.
So a lot of Americans are upset about this because although California is a sanctuary state, the policies that they are passing affect us all. Tell us about what you guys are doing in Florida to push back against this.
Sure. Well, first, we're going to prosecute this guy in court to the fullest. He's looking at many decades behind bars before he would ultimately get deported. And here's the thing. Our investigation shows he failed his CDL license exam 10 times in the 2 months before this tragedy took place. We are investigating criminally and civilly, not only the license company.
Did anybody notice that? I'm gonna back up here a second. This guy, see the car runs into the side of his trailer, and he acknowledges it.
Get deported. And here's the thing. Our investigation shows he failed his CDL license exam 10 times in the 2 months before this tragedy took place. The
guy, his passenger, this guy here, he acknowledges it too. He felt, hey, what was that noise? Did you hear that?
Investigating criminally.
Look at the look on this guy's face right here. He's calm, cool. I almost think I can hear him saying, damn, now I got to pull over. Is that what he's saying?
In the 2 months before this tragedy took place.
We
are investigating criminally and civilly, not only the license company that wrongfully gave.
He wasn't disturbed at all by that. He was not upset at all by the fact that he just cranked a hard left and the car behind him slammed into the side of him.
Him this license. He cannot speak English, but we're also suing California and Gavin Newsom in the United States Supreme Court.
Good.
Because we can do everything right here in Florida.
Good.
We're a law and order state. It's illegal to give any license to illegal aliens. But when California engages in this unlawful behavior, we are harmed. We suffer. So we're going to hold them accountable in court.
Good. You know, my father is a truck driver, and apparently this issue is pervasive in the field. This is what the Secretary of Transportation had to say. The California governor and his state were caught red-handed after weeks of claiming they did nothing wrong. Now we've exposed their lies. 17,000 illegally issued trucking licenses are being revoked. So you're getting some
17,000 illegal licenses to people that can't even read or write, or even know the signs of the road. Obviously, they don't know how to drive. He's doing a U-turn right in the middle of the main highway, interstate.
Backup from the federal government.
We're happy to have their support. We stand by them. I think what California is doing is wrong, and we're going to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
I want to get your comments on another story because you are now seeking the death penalty for a man that was indicted for sexual battery on children. Explain to me the rationale. A lot of people, since the beginning of time, have been calling for this, saying that these individuals cannot be rehabilitated, people that mess with children in this sick way. Do you think you're going to face some legal challenges, though, on this?
We will face legal challenges. I know we're running.
Look at the eyeballs on this guy.
Headlong into an old Louisiana versus Kennedy Supreme Court opinion where they said child sex battery offenders are not eligible for the death penalty. Here in Florida, we would like to see them revisit that. We were the first state to again make child sex offenders death penalty eligible.
I'm going to pause it right there. I don't want to hear what I heard earlier. I don't want it repeated. I don't want it on my show. This guy is demented, insane. He needs a death penalty. He needs a death penalty. Death is too good for this guy.
My the racket in my first time in the already in the 5 year in the no ticket.
No tickets.
Yeah.
I hate to be the first guy to write you with tickets. But
Full name, sir?
Yes. This one right here is the one that you'll pay, and you have 30 days to take care of it.
And Gavin Newsom, he's going to sit here and make some bureaucratic defensive line about how this is vital to the economy in California. You know, people are starving. They're bringing food to Walmart. And that's what's going on. That's how important it is that this thing, they be allowed to drive. You can't take their licenses. They can't take their licenses. ICE in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Turning now to the Trump administration's latest round of sweeping immigration raids. This time, it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Federal agents raided job sites and parking lots, arresting dozens of people over the weekend as part of what they're calling this Operation Charlotte's Web. The raids were met with protests and objections from local leaders in a city that, well, prides itself on welcoming immigrants. Skylar Henry has more from Charlotte.
Is it just me, or are these people, maybe these people don't have cell phones and TVs in Charlotte? I mean, don't people realize that mass deportation means mass deportation? And the funny thing is, we knew back in November of last year, when Trump won the election, he said, "Let me make it perfectly clear to all you illegal aliens, pack your bags." I saw it. I'm gonna pull that clip out. I'll pull it out for another show. I saw it. He made it perfectly clear. All you illegal aliens, pack your bags. And the funny thing is, these people all act like they didn't hear that. And most of them speak fairly good English, I think. And they just act like they don't even believe. Or if that's not enough, how about what's been going on for the last 6 months over in Portland, over in Los Angeles, over in Chicago, over in Memphis, in Florida, Texas? What's wrong with people? I mean, people are just that naive, or they're just that stupid? Really?
Federal immigration agents swept across Charlotte over the weekend, from landscaping gigs to shopping centers, arresting 81 people on Saturday alone. And yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security said a U.S. citizen drove a large van at law enforcement mid-operation, ramming cars and injuring an officer before he was arrested. The immigration raids drew protests in
immigrants make Charlotte great. Not the one in that van. Yeah, they're just maybe they're never going to get it. Those are the people. There's a percentage of people who are just ignorant. They don't possess critical thinking skills. They don't even possess common sense in any form or fashion. Illegal immigrants are being deported. That's the bottom line. That is the law, and that's what's happening, and that's what's going to happen. And if you care about somebody who's an illegal immigrant, I would think that you would encourage them to get the $1,000 and go get on a plane. I mean, that's what I would think. I know I encourage 3 people. Get your $1,000 because Trump's not going to stop till every last one of illegal aliens is out of the country. That's the bottom line. And it doesn't have nothing to do with the worst of the worst. Yeah, the worst of the worst is who we're going to get first. But everybody that's an illegal alien is an illegal alien. I'm sorry to say. And with that being said, if you're such a good illegal alien, how come last November you didn't run down to the immigration's office and get your paperwork started? Why didn't you? How come you've been here for 18 years? I've been working at a job for 18 years. I got my family to support. If you got a family to support and you've been here 18 years, you need to pull your head out of your butt because you don't care about your family. You don't care at all about your family. If you did, you would have gotten your paperwork taken care of. You would have gotten your citizenship long ago. And I can actually say that because my brother-in-law just got his citizenship a year ago. It took him 11 months. 11 months. He got it last year. So it does take a little while to get. I understand. I do understand. And he did it.
A strongly Democratic city where around 18% of residents were born outside the U.S.
A lot of friends and family and acquaintances who say that they're not going out. They're having their kids who are citizens go and pick up their
what? Their kids? Because their parents are not legal. They're not Americans? They're not even legal citizens? Yep. You know what? You better tell your buddies. They need to figure out how they're going to get their mom and daddy back home. That's the plan. That is the plan.
Clothes and food for them.
Customs and Border Protection Chief of Patrol Gregory Bovino uploaded photos of several people who were apprehended, claiming they are in the country illegally, and outlining their alleged criminal histories. But in videos posted online, some who were detained said they do have legal status.
I know this guy
that
here
includes
does.
Willie Isatuno, who was filming as federal agents broke a window of his truck before detaining him Saturday, even though he says he's a citizen. They threw me to the ground, and I always have my papers with me in my bag, he said.
I always have my papers with me. But did he pull them out? No, he wanted to get a window broke. He wanted to show them, see what all that work, and I'm a legal alien. Well, if you're a legal alien, why don't you just pull your paperwork out and tell them to have a nice day? Huh?
They didn't care. I told them many times. Once the agents did look at his documents, Isatuno said he was allowed to walk back to his car.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Just like I just said. Does he have his papers out? No. He's simply acting like look at this little truck that looks like a little, see this truck right here? Don't that look like a little illegal beef jerky truck? Yeah, it does.
Any level of coordination with local or state officials has been basically non-existent.
Mark Jarrell is the chair of the Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners.
People are scared. They're living in fear.
Only the ones that are illegal. These other people look scared? No, these other people are mad because they got to go out and get the groceries because their uncle or their mom and dad or their brother are illegal aliens. In some cases, their husbands or their wives are illegal aliens. And do you blame them? I don't blame them. But you can see they're not scared.
I don't know who is being targeted. I don't know if it's a community.
Yes, you do. Illegal aliens. Are you that naive? Or you're just talking that kind of crap?
Or if it's individuals.
You're not that stupid.
Commissioner Jarrell also told us that it is unclear whether federal agents will continue sweeping Charlotte in the days ahead.
Yes, it is clear. Why are they talking like that? For all you people in Charlotte, North Carolina, they're going to keep sweeping. They just got there. They're going to be there for 2 months at least. Just like they were in Chicago, just like they were in Portland, just like they were in Los Angeles, just like they were in Atlanta, just like they were in Memphis, just like they were in Texas, just like they... Yeah, they're going to. He didn't say we're going to have mass deportations till we get some of the illegal aliens out. He didn't say we're going to have mass deportations till we get most of the illegals out. We're going to have deportations until all the illegal aliens are out of the country. Then, if you're a good person, you can turn around like a good person would have done to begin with, instead of bringing your children down through the desert of Mexico, up walking across a river in Texas. That's not how a decent person... You already know something's wrong with you. You already know something's wrong with you. My brother-in-law didn't walk my sister across the river. Funny how that is.
Or for that matter, where they could be. Next, internal Homeland Security preparations obtained by CBS News have listed New Orleans as the next target for immigration raids. Tony?
Oh, yeah.
Skyler, thank you very much.
Yep. It's coming. It's going to be a minute. A minute to win it. What do we got here?
And welcome back, everyone. It's live now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us, continuing to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories and headlines. One of them, we have been following the latest actions from Homeland Security, putting this out on X, saying that President Trump and Secretary Noam will not back down from their mission to make America safe again. North Carolina sanctuary politicians are protecting the nearly 1,400 criminal illegal aliens in Charlotte's jail.
1,400 illegal aliens that are in jail. They're in jail right now. In Charlotte's jails, by refusing to turn them over to ICE, ultimately releasing these monsters into North Carolina's neighborhoods. Now, I thought that the mayor, or maybe it was the governor of North Carolina, who asked ICE to come in. I really can't remember. And they're hiding or keeping the 1,400 criminal illegal aliens in Charlotte's jails. I really don't understand how this works. I'm going to have to do a little more research. I thought the government could go in and take them if they're an illegal alien. We already know they're criminals. They're in jail.
By refusing to turn them over to ICE, ultimately releasing those monsters into North Carolina's neighborhoods. And all of this comes as the Department of Homeland Security says that Border Patrol arrested more than 130 illegal immigrants in Charlotte, North Carolina over the weekend. The feds say that it's part of their latest immigration operation targeting violent criminal illegal aliens known as Charlotte's Web. And right now, we want to keep you in Charlotte. And let's bring in right now Fox News' Chelsea Torres with a breakdown. And what we're seeing, it sounds similar to what Chicago just went through.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. You know, DHS says that this crackdown here in Charlotte is what their promise is to keep Americans safe. And officials say that federal agents actually arrested 80 illegal immigrants just on Saturday alone. And when we look at some of these arrests, officials say that some had prior criminal records like known gang membership, aggravated assault, even illegal reentry after prior deportation. Now, the Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol agents made arrests outside of businesses, near grocery stores, even near a church. And DHS says that their operation targets criminal illegal aliens who came to North Carolina because, quote, sanctuary politicians would protect them.
Yeah, that's it. They would protect them. They would protect them. And as long as there are places for them to go, and they're going to be protected by the governor or the mayor or the city councilman or family and friends, or cartel that have already established some safe houses around town or around the country. It's been going on for 4 years now. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden. And with that being said, as long as it is, you know, there's an old saying for alcoholics. It took me 30 years to get this way. It's not going to take you a year to get sober. Well, it's taken 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. It started an increasing incline somewhere towards the end of, when Joe Biden came in. Yeah, sorry. And with that being said, 4 years for everybody just to pour in. And I got some clips. I love to see it. There's lines for miles in Mexico with people lined up with kids, babies, dogs, lots of drugs, and lines to get into the country. And the Border Patrol with forklifts lifting the fence up so they can climb, so they can come in underneath it. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyways, leave your comments down in the box. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell so you'll get notification and you never miss a video. And I'll see you in the next one.